All right. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our brand night for tonight, March 31st. It's the last day of the month, and we've got a really, really exciting evening for you tonight. My name is David Scoltetti. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a 100K affiliate with My Daily Choice, and it's just a pleasure to be here. I saw a lot of new names. If you're new, welcome. Let us know by typing in the chat that you're new. We do this every single Monday night, so just make a mental note of that. And each Monday night, we showcase one of the unique brands, whether it be physical or digital, of My Daily Choice, and we feature one of the owners of. And tonight is no different. We got an incredible brand for you guys tonight. Something that's applicable to everybody you know around the world. And to kick things off and to kind of showcase it all is none other than JoJo Monroe. For those of you who do not know JoJo, she's a lifelong entrepreneur, at least during her whole adult life. She's a seven-figure earner in the relationship marketing profession. She's a top leader on our team, and most importantly, she's a awesome wife and an awesome mama of two really awesome little boys. So, JoJo, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Thank you so much, Pied Piper. Yeah, tonight is going to be incredible. We have the Dream Trips International. And Mark, are you with me? I see your logo. We have a lot of people on here that are excited to not only learn about Dream Trips, but to really make this brand a part of the culture of how we live our lives and how we build our teams. So Mark, if you can unmute, let me know you're here. We'll kind of kick things off with understanding. There he is. Hey, Mark, how are you?
I am here. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. So, Mark, look, we've got some newbies, we've got some people, but on a whole, Dream Trips International as a brand is a newbie to marketplace. So I want everyone to understand, if you are new, this brand, before it came to marketplace, at its peak, was doing over 300 of these dream trips, which you will hear what they are, a day. They had over 30,000 trips that they were sending people on all over the world, did billions, near a billion in revenue with their millions of members that were a part of this brand. And now, Mark, you and Tammy, your beautiful wife, have brought this brand over to MDC, but you have elevated it over the last few months in a way that I don't think anybody, including myself, fully comprehends. And so, Mark, take us on the first of its kind Dream Trips journey. And you guys, you want to stay till the end because our team is about to hear the newest launch that Mark's bringing to Dream Trips. So with that, Mark, I'm going to pass it over to you to share your slides, your vision, and expertise of what this brand is going to be within Marketplace.
You got it. Well, I appreciate that, Jojo, and I appreciate David and Kenny and everyone just having us on here today. And we're excited. Dream Trips is a fun business. Hopefully, by the end of my little section here, I'll get everybody to agree with that. I don't think you have to sell travel that hard to get people excited about it. But I'm a product of the product. That's why I can easily talk about it. Of course, being the owner of Dream Trips, you would expect me to come on and say nothing but great things about Dream Trips. But I can honestly say, I've been on, dozens and dozens and dozens of Dream Trips. And I go as the owner because I want to see every single element from A to Z of the trip. And I'm an avid traveler as it is. And on these trips, I want to tweak things and I'm constantly trying to, look for cool new experiences. And I like to say that we look for the boutique kind of experience where anyone can go on Expedia and book a hotel somewhere. But on anybody can find, a 400-year-old convent in Rome, with an active church that is a trip that we've put together. We actually have that trip. I've done that trip, and it included pasta making and tiramisu making right there in Rome. So, to find the things that are just, off the beaten path that take time, experience. And I think the best thing that we have to rely on is the fact that, as far as Dream Trips, it's a 20-year-old brand. And so I just get to rest on the shoulders of people that have come before us. But when you're 20 years old, you've had 20 years of building relationships with hotels and tour operators around the world. And we find these hotels, like, so every Dream Trip I've been on has been something unique. Even if it was a mainstream hotel, there's been something unique about it. But most of the trips I've been on you wouldn't have probably been able to just go find the hotel. It would have had it had to be a friend who told their friend who told their friend. And you've probably had that referral before where it's like you tell someone you're going to go to the Amalfi Coast in Italy, or you tell someone I've always wanted to go to Italy, and they say you've got to go to the Amalfi Coast. Like, some of you know why I'm saying that, and some of you are like, what's the Amalfi Coast? Well, it's probably the #1 spot in Italy, but you wouldn't know that unless someone told you. And then they tell you to go to the pizza place on the corner that has the best truffle mushroom sauce and all that kind of cool stuff. That's really what best defines what makes a dream trip is those that have come before us have taken that trip 100, 200, 500 times, that exact same trip. So our host has been able to tweak that trip 500 times, right? So you're not our experiment. You're not, for the most part, you're not sitting there going, oh, I hope the food is good, or I hope the hotel is nice, or I hope it's the right excursion. Part of the stress of booking a trip. You're not really worrying about that at DreamTrips because someone else has had to worry about that. But more so, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of travelers have already gone through that booking process, right? So we've already worked out, most of the kinks. We're not perfect, but I got to tell you, I really haven't seen that many hiccups on the immense amount of trips I've been on around the world in multiple languages, multiple countries. It's just really been amazing. So we're going to take you through a quick overview of what a DreamTrips membership comes with. And then we're going to launch a new membership tonight. Actually, you guys are getting to see this before anyone. We haven't even released this. I think we were on a pre-call and I said, well, we're actually going to launch it tonight. So you'll get a sneak peek of the DreamTrips rhythm that we're going to be building. So if you're a guest on here today and you're saying, hey, I just want to have fun and travel, you're going to get that. If you're someone on here that says, hey, you know what, I want to build a travel community and I want to make money while I'm doing it. And so today will be the first of probably a series of Zooms to really just talk about how do you build a travel community and how do you get into this DreamTrips rhythm. So Jojo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop my slides up real quick.
And as you're doing that, I mean, I've heard this phrase the other day. I'm going to coin it as my own, but feel free to steal it and not give me credit, everyone. We are in right now the time where everyone needs to up their vitamin T intake, their vitamin travel intake, because it's so vital to this holistic perspective that we claim that we want to live, this limitless, elevated experience that we have in life. And for me, even if it's something that's in my backyard that I'm going to for a weekend getaway, or all the way across the world, I want to experience, not only for myself, but for my children and the people that I know and love, this elevated vitamin T that we all long and crave for. So with that, Mark, take us to that elevation, man.
You got it. And I just want to make sure you can see me, the slides and everything. We're all good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And just to add to the I love that statement right there. The other thing that comes with travel and building a business, and just really, I like to call it a community because it really doesn't feel like a business, is retention. And success as an entrepreneur is if you have a product that is sticky. What that means is people like it and they keep coming back for more and they keep it long term. And we have proof in the brand. This brand, 20 years old. You can see the members that kept this. Obviously, prior to COVID, the retention was incredible. I mean, really incredible. And so I think that's a big thing in whatever part of the business you're building. When you add a travel element, it just adds that glue that keeps kind of everybody together. So this is our sign-in page at DreamTrips.com. I'm going to go right into the first and probably biggest thing people come to DreamTrips for outside of our flagship product is everybody wants to save money, right? So we have the #1 discount portal on the planet. These rates are not available to the general public, that you have to log in with a login and password. Matter of fact, we're not able to show these rates to the general public because of the contracts through the aggregators and the hotel. So we actually can't show the rate, the name of the hotel, and the date of the booking in any public forum. That's how much of a discount it is. You'll notice across the top, these are the tabs in your own private discount portal. So this is like your own private version of an Expedia with much bigger discounts, okay? And so I'm going to take you through the different tabs. The first one I'm going to go with is probably the way most people are going to use this portal, or at least the most frequent, and that's the discount engine itself. And as you can see here, here's Caesar's Palace, for example. It's 53% off. This is an actual booking. I just went in and typed in Caesar's Palace in the booking engine. And you can see we don't hide behind anything. We put the prices right here. This is what it cost online when I did this search, $122 on Expedia. You can see Priceline and Booking. Our price is $57. So you're saving obviously 53% off of what the general public pays for the same listing. Okay.
Wow.
Now let's go around the world a little bit. This is also Vegas. This is the Palazzo Venetian. So sometimes discount engines, they don't get the 5-star hotels. They barely have 4 stars. It's kind of the junk of the world, right? Like the stuff no one wants to book anyways. That's not what we have. We have everything in the world, over 800,000 hotels and resorts. So the Palazzo, if you've ever been to Palazzo Venetian, I mean, it's 5-star all the way. It's 58% off on our portal, and compared to booking.com is $269 a night, and we were $110 a night. So pretty significant. And just to give some other areas, this is just so we can kind of go around the world a little bit. This is actually Bali. My daughter's actually getting married soon and trying to go here for her honeymoon. And I was like, get off of these other booking sites. Like, just think she doesn't, she's in our house, not realizing like, hey, we actually have Bali. She's like, you guys have Bali too? I'm like, we have everything. And so this is one I've done extensive research on, the Leaf right here. And you can see the price difference. This is 82%. And I didn't try to find the biggest discount. Sometimes you'll go in and you'll type in Bali, or you'll type in, Rome or Vegas. And it just it's all in inventory. Hotels know whether they're going to sell out or not. And some of them are really good at it. They know 2, 3, 4 months in advance, like, hey, we're not going to sell out. And we'd rather give away the rooms at 60, 70, 80%, because you're in their bar, you're in their restaurant, you're getting a massage, they're getting business from it, even though they don't get full price. And they'd rather that than only be 40% full in a specific, week or a day. That's kind of how this works. So this is like giving you Indonesia. Here's another one I like to show because this is amazing. I don't know if anyone's been to Secrets Tulum, but this is a killer resort. You can just look at the aerial photo there. This resort's off the charts, and 70%, off of Booking.com. It's actually more off of Booking. Booking is right here, $6,800. Ours is with tax $1,431. Right. So this is just one of those ones. We have a button on our discount engine where you can do like daily or weekly specials. And that's how I found this. I just hit like, deals this week, and this came up, and I was like, whoa. So another thing we teach our members is like, sometimes you may want to go to a certain location, but if you're budget savvy and you just want your money to go a long way, hit that like, weekly budget, or discounted European vacation, or beachside resorts for $400 and up, because something may come up that you may have thought, oh, that's out of my price range. But when you went and looked, that resort was giving us the best special. We just pass it right on to you as a member. Also, Jojo, this is something very significant. We put, our money where our mouth is. This is what is the great equalizer right here. We give 110% hotel money back, money guarantee. What that means is if you find a hotel that's cheaper on another booking engine, like you see that Expedia had it cheaper than what we quoted, we will match what they are selling at plus 10%. And we put that as credits in the hotel engine for you to book for the future. And so we're basically saying, we know we're going to be right 99% of the time, that we're going to be below anything you can find in the public booking domain. And I think this says a lot. There's not too many guarantees in life, let alone 110% guarantee that we're showing you. And if not, we're putting our money out there. So this is, I think this is probably the best consumer satisfaction type guarantee when you say, hey, you know what, becoming a DreamTrips member it's not just all hype on a brochure. There's a real guarantee behind kind of what we offer. So Jojo, the next section is our condos. Do you have any questions on hotels or how that works?
No, and this is so cool because, I mean, with all these other sites that you're talking about, with what would be competition, your Expedias, your bookings, you're lucky to ever get a live agent, let alone a guarantee. Like, this is so beyond anything else that's out there on the market, just for that experience alone with the hotel portal, not to mention what you're about to go into with everything else. So, Mark, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, and exactly. I'd buy this membership as a consumer if all it had was what I just went through, right?
Right,
if
right.
you're just booking, and we have a slide that we show sometimes where like one booking could be an entire year's worth of membership, saving on just one booking. And so it's
Totally.
pretty cool. Now, this next thing, look, I'm going to just tell you guys, my wife and I, we travel the world. We've been everywhere. I mean, when I say everywhere, 40, 50 countries. So we've really been everywhere. But we're cheap. Okay. We make good money, but we're cheap. We do not waste money. My wife's nickname is Cheap Charlie. Because, if you don't know how to travel, you just pay these exorbitant tourism Instagram prices is what I call it, right? You just pay top of the shelf, and yeah, you might go to some incredibly fancy resort and you're like, oh my gosh, but you don't have any money to do anything after that. And if you have kids, it's like you spend all your money on a hotel room that you only sleep in, and then you don't get to go to all the cool restaurants and the elephant sanctuary in Thailand and the floating market and skydiving or ballooning or whatever, all the cool stuff that really is the memories, right? And so I think this part, and if you're very budget conscious, I think this is the best part of the plan personally, because what we have is over 600 condo weeks. These are timeshares. And so someone else had to go buy a timeshare, spend 20 grand, 30, 40, 50 grand, buy a timeshare. They have dues every year of $500 to $3,000. And then they get a week or two a year at a timeshare. Well, when those people can't fill or don't use their weeks, we have contracted through our partners that we have over 600,000 of those weeks globally that we get. Okay. So, and why I like these is most of these have like a partial or a full kitchen, and they're either 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms. And I just think it's the best way to travel because I'm a professional traveler. So, I like to have a full refrigerator. I like to bring my leftovers home from a nice restaurant, like just a certain way to travel. And when my kids were younger, who wants to stay in a hotel and everyone's just crammed in one bed or on the couch? Like, it's just so much easier with kids or in-laws and things like that. So here's an example. I just did a screenshot. These are all timeshare weeks around the world. And if I was able to move this around on my screen, you'd see the weeks change in different countries. But you're not going to find too many places that we don't have one of these weeks. And so once again, Bali is on the mind. My daughter's trying to go there right now. So these are 1 week stays. Okay. Now, if you look at this is a 5-star 5.0 rating, and this is $327 for the entire week. And so, like, if you think, yeah, and here's the thing, my daughter priced out her honeymoon, and it's all these like fancy Instagram influencers are like, driving like where she wants to go. And I'm like, okay, take your budget and now go to one of these timeshares, forget the Four Seasons. Like, look, if you want to drop $20,000 on a honeymoon, sure, go to Four Seasons. But if you want to be able to do everything you could ever imagine in your life on a budget because you got the week for $327 instead of paying, $700 a night. And that's the difference, right? And so this is Bali. Right here, I did this because, I think, here in the US and even from around the world, Disney's where it's at, right? But Disney is so out of most people's realm for this reason. The hotels are outrageous, especially if you stay at a Disney hotel. The park hopper price is $200 a person per day. A cheeseburger is $30. I mean, it's pretty rough, right? So these are timeshares, and I'm going to just go Club Wyndham because I like this brand personally. I've never had a disappointment as a travel exec with this brand. And so like Club Wyndham, it's a 5 stars. You can see it's 4 to 4.3 ratings out of 5. This is for a week. And these ones right here that I'm showing you are full kitchen, 1 bedroom. And they usually have a pull-out couch. So, like, you could go with a whole family. You got a full kitchen. If you've got a baby, obviously, moms and dads on here know what that's like. You want a microwave. You want a full fridge, much easier. But what this allows, in my opinion, is the real savvy traveler. If you're on a budget, it allows you to actually go to Disney, not break your whole budget on a hotel you're not even going to do anything but sleep in, right? And these are not junky hotels. Someone paid 20, 30 grand maybe for a timeshare to get a week or two a year here. We're just, like we say, someone else's loss is our gain. And that's literally what we're doing here. And so, we went from Bali to, Disney, and here's Rome. Rome is one of my favorite places in the world. I've done extensive research on this one right here and this one right here. This is actually a country club for you golfers. This is $545 for the week. It's right outside the city, and it's an unbelievable golf course. Okay. It's a full kitchen, 1 bedroom. This one right here is a 2 bedroom. Okay. Which is just crazy. $665 for the entire week. So just a way to budget. I love having the weeks versus hotels, and just kind of gives you, just a different way to look at, how to travel. It's not all, it doesn't always have to be a hotel.
This is insane. So if you guys like, am getting excited to go on trips that I have not even planned yet. Like for those kind of prices, it's almost like you can't not go do these incredible things in the world. But before we leave this portal and go to the vacation rentals, Rob had a great question that I want you to tie in because he says, well, I see that you can compare to the other travel sites, but how does this compare to the hotel websites or to the, in my experience, hotel websites are always the highest, but maybe you have some expertise in that.
Yeah, it goes both ways on a hotel website. So typically a hotel website is higher until they get close where they maybe can't sell all the rooms and they'll drop it down. But we still have our 100% guarantee because we have deals with the hotels behind the scenes. So we have 41 aggregators in this global network. It's called actually rate parity. That's just the technical name of it. And it's kind of an agreed upon percentage across the globe that hotels have to kind of stick to with membership clubs like us. So it's gives a little bit of safety in there. Every once in a while, you will run into some hotel that what we call breaks rate parity. They go, oh my gosh, we will give these hotel rooms away for free because they just run into low occupancy. And we usually correct that. And then obviously we make them pay that guarantee back to us. So that's one of the ways that we do that. So
very cool. And this one I'm excited about because I actually own 2 Airbnbs. And when I saw this drop a couple months ago, I was like, what in the world? How are you guys doing this? No one else is doing these vacation rentals. So I'm excited to hear about this, Mark.
Yeah, these prices are pretty crazy. So these are right on Airbnb. Now I show some crazy ones just for someone that, you do some of these crazy resort bookings in your life. But here's Dubai. This is almost an entire month in Dubai. On Airbnb, it's $49,000 for the month, right? Our price is $16,000. No, look, I'm not saying I'm going to go drop $49,000 on something, but this gives you an idea. These are kind of the real super crazy dream ones. This is like a super luxury one in South Carolina. Here's some down here in Utah. Here's one in Hawaii. Look, Airbnb price is 33 grand. This is prime holiday season. It's the whole month of January. You're saving $22,000. These are obviously pretty off the chart examples, but let's come back to reality and do some more realistic ones. I'm going to show you one that I think is one of the coolest properties I've seen for rent. This is 11, say almost 12 grand on Airbnb, 5,000 on our portal. And this looks like a clubhouse. This is the house. This is an 8-bedroom house. Okay. It's in Four Corners, Florida. And this is the game room. It is big. It has all professional arcade games, like the full ones that we all played as a kid that you put your coins in. Every room is themed. It's got a pool. As you can see here, there's like an outdoor pool that's screened in, but 8 bedrooms. So I like this for people that like to travel as a family or with multi-families. Like you could do 2-3 families and split this price, and you're looking at $1,200 a family. Put 3 families, you're $1,300-$1,400 a family, and you're in an 8-bedroom home. And this is over Christmas and New Year's, right? So New Year's Eve. I mean, this is like prime, obviously rental season. So these are really, really cool. There's a whole host of them. They go all around the world. We just loaded up a ton in like Spain, Italy, Hungary, like Budapest, Hungary, and so Barcelona. So there's some really cool deals that are on there as well.
Very cool. And that, you know what, that's also great for that. And like the condos, let's say we're all going to convention in October, get the teams together, get a home, get a whole thing and get a whole crew together. It's so awesome that we have access to that kind of a discount on this portal. No one else has that. It's just amazing.
It's very cool. Very cool. And this is kind of a new feature here, our all-inclusive resorts. We always had all-inclusive spread out throughout our portal, but we never had it in one location like we have now. And so we've partnered up with Dreams Resorts and Spas. They have really awesome locations. I'm going to like scroll in a little bit here on the screen. And as you can see, like public price here, $1,620. Our price is $700. I mean, that's for 2 people for 4 nights. Riviera Maya, for example. I mean, just think about that. I'm going to eat more than that just in food. So this is a pretty good deal. And these are all inclusive, and it's unlimited dining, unlimited drinks, and it's 24-hour room service at our all inclusive properties. And there's a whole host of them. It goes from Dominican Republic to Costa Rica, to Mexico. I mean, just there's been a lot of. Where's the one I just saw? The Canary Islands was on there, so there's a lot of variety. So if you're just someone that says, you know what, I only do all inclusive, because there are people that's all they do. I'm not opposed to that. I like to eat, so that's why this product exists, and it's a little bit different. You have to request weeks, because once again, these are like luxury timeshares that someone spent a lot of money on, and so you just fill out a form, and then the concierge will come back from this resort and will literally tell you, hey, your week's available, and if it's not, they'll give you other suggested weeks that could be available.
Okay. And then on that, just before we go, the questions that are coming in, like, are all of these, can you type in location and then a map comes up, or is this something that you have to know where you're going when people log into the site? And what category is this under?
Yeah. So what this is you click on when you're on our portal and you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see you're going to see a tab that says like weekly specials, dream resorts from $400, all inclusive resorts from $700. And when you click on one of those, it's going to bring up this actual similar page to this. And you're not going to search by location. You're going to be able to just scroll down at all of our all-inclusives with this brand.
Awesome. Very cool.
All right. So I'm going to go to our flagship product, and then we'll just get into like what the membership pricing is, and some of the benefits, value add to the membership. But this is our flagship product, okay? DreamTrips and Dream Breaks. The difference of this is these are not sold anywhere on the internet. So like, it's not a package from Expedia. It's not us just like reserving a hotel for you. It's really our travel team of over 20 years worth of experience that is building and customizing these trips. And this is group curated travel. We actually own two companies. The second company is Rovia. Rovia was the #1 group travel agency in the world for 10 years in a row prior to COVID. And so Rovia, which is the company my wife runs, what they do is they build these trips that are bookend. What I mean by that is it's cookie cutter. So every dream trip, we pick you up at the airport. Okay. You're going to be, with a little dream trip sign, welcome you at the airport. We deliver you to the hotel. Our staff, Dream Trip staff, is on the ground at that hotel. And from that point forward, you are courted through your trip, stress-free for you and your family. And basically, it's group travel. So you're going to get on that trip, and there might be 20 other people, 30 other people from around the world. You don't have to participate in any of the group events if you don't want to. I think you will want to when you find out what they are. And every dream trip has a welcome reception where you meet all the other travelers, have some drinks on us and some appetizers. The host will give the itinerary and details of the rest of the trip. Every dream trip has an excursion. You don't have to worry about if it's a good one, if the meal's going to be good or bad, if they're going to pick you up on time, because we're running it all. We're on the ground with you. And then it might have 1 or 2 excursions depending on the length. And then every dream trip has a farewell experience, whether that's a cocktail hour, a dinner experience, or some other stuff that we kind of throw out there. Like Valentine's Day in Prague, we had a medieval dinner. We bust everybody to this crazy like cave and did this medieval dinner with sword eaters and fire eaters and stuff, belly dancers. And so we try to surprise you with something cool, a wow factor, if you would. And so I'm not going to spend too much detail on each one of the trips, but just around the world, you can kind of see, I did this trip top left-hand corner with my daughter for her college graduation. I would have never went to Slovenia. I would have not known where to go, first of all. And it was probably one of my favorite trips of my life. It was in the mountains, in the middle of nowhere. If you've ever heard of Lake Bled, amazing. Looks like a postcard. There's a church in the middle of the lake. It's just to die for. It's unbelievable. And stayed at this cool little eco hotel. And we did a countryside hike to a World War I cemetery in the middle of the mountains that was incredible. Came down from the mountain and did a wine and cheese tour. and then went whitewater rafting as a group. Very cool. Matter of fact, this trip, we drove from this trip to a second dream trip in Croatia, which was really, really cool. We call those back-to-back trips, where we link two trips together. And a lot of times the price will include transferring you from one trip to the next trip, even if it's in another country. So that's cool. Just to give you maybe a more elevated experience, I'm going to show you the Kenya Safari, so you can see the price ranges. Lots of $500, $600, $700, $800 trips per person. Kenya is obviously a little bit more up there. This is like a 7 to 8 day trip. This trip sells out 3 to 4 times a year. We've been doing this trip for 15 years. And I've never been on this trip. I am dying to go on a safari. And I've heard people spend a lot of money. They go on a safari and they may not see much. They may not see an elephant, for example, or they wanted to see a lion and they don't see one. And so what's cool about ours is there's 3 different game tours in 2 different resorts, and we train you to a whole nother resort. And it's just through experience, right? They've run this trip 600-700 times over however many years, right? So you have that extra little experience. Another thing, Jojo, a lot of people don't realize is because we haven't categorized it like this yet, but we have foodie trips like this one in Budapest. We have foodie trips all over the world. So we have strudel making in Budapest. We have learning how to make Thai food in Thailand. I haven't gone on that one, but I did do the Italy trip twice. Once was the pasta. Another one was pizza and tiramisu right across the street from the Pantheon in Rome. And then you cooked it all as a group, and then you sat on the curb or sat outside in tables, and they served you the food that they taught you how to cook. I mean, it's like epic. You're not really getting that on a regular travel, right? So that's what a dream trip is, and you can see there's a lot of different styles of dream trips, something for everybody.
This is amazing. I mean, Mark, this is so cool. As a mom of 2 and the woman that plans the travel, I say this week to week, you couldn't pay me to want to plan a trip like this because you're so exhausted in your research tunnel before you even go. You don't want to go on the darn thing. So just this value that you guys are bringing and the ease of which we get to capitalize on it is such an asset. So I just, you guys, if you're excited in the chat, put some flames, put some airplanes, because you're going to want to be a part of this incredible brand. And Mark, let's dive into how they can.
Well, what's really cool if someone's looking at us for the first time here today is we have cut our pricing by 50%. I mean, which is really unheard of. And we worked a special deal with the group, and we're able to lower the monthly pricing. So you think this is a 20-year-old brand. It averaged over 20 years at about $100 a month to become a member. And we have split it into 2 categories. We wanted to make it, just where it was a no-brainer. Like, you know what, it costs you money not to have the membership, even if you don't globally travel, right? Like you're saying, as a mom with children, you're always like needing these like hotels for a night or 2 nights. If your kids are in sports, like my son was in travel baseball, I added up on a portal that's similar to this that we had before this one. This was much better. And we saved $6,500 in 1 year. And my son did 2 baseball teams all year round. So, we were traveling everywhere. But that's like staying at a Holiday Inn, renting out $6,500 in 1 year, just booking through our portal versus Expedia and versus the Travel Ball League, right? Because they weren't even getting good deals. It was just everybody staying at one hotel. I was staying at the same hotel for 50% less than everybody else. So
gosh, if that's not a recruiting tool, I don't know what is.
Exactly, right? So normally this product right here, our standard membership was $80 a month. I'm rounding the numbers now, $39.99, right? And so here's how it works. You're going to get access to everything that you've seen here today for $39.99 a month. There's no long-term contract, okay? This isn't a timeshare or anything like that, so you keep it as long as you like. You also, and this is the crazy part, after 1 year of your anniversary, you're getting 100% of the monthly membership fee that you paid put into what's called a travel savings account. And those are Dream Trip points. So that's where you get this 40 Dream Trip points a month. After 1 year, that adds up. You have 480 Dream Trip points. And you get to use those points to buy down the price of a Dream Trip. And I'll give you an example here at the end of current Dream Trips that we're all driving together as leaders. And so really, you actually are going to get to use all of the money you spent on the monthly membership on discounting future trips. So it's kind of a cool deal. And
Wow.
yeah, so you're going to get everything that we talked about so far. Now, this is our standard membership. We have a premium membership, which we call Priority. It's usually 130 a month, 79.99 now. And this number right here is wrong. It's actually 80 Dream Trips a month. So you get 960 Dream Trip points a year, and those are dollar for dollar. So that's literally $960 of actual Dream Trip points. So let's say a trip was, we had a $600 Dream Trip. You might be able to take like 125 Dream Trip points off that, which is literally $125 reduction. And Jojo, one of the cool things about this membership, and this is really for someone who is really going to travel, is this adds 24/7 concierge. It's in every language you can imagine. It's like 60 languages. It's 24 hours a day, all over the world, anything you can think of. And it's not just what you think is a hotel concierge. You're looking for a golf instructor in your local town, call the concierge. You're looking for a catering company, call the concierge. You're looking for a house cleaner. You're looking for a babysitter, a pet sitter. Anything you could ever think of, you use our concierge for. And then you also get VIP access to over 1,300 airport lounges globally. So if you're really traveling, this is the membership. And if you've ever been on a layover or multi-flight, stops, a multi-stop flight, it's great to go to a lounge. It's free Wi-Fi, typically free alcohol and food. A lot of them have massage chairs, and some of them even have gyms and showers. So it's a really, really cool way to do this. And so standard and priority. Now, you guys are going to be the very first people to see a new feature that we just, I could say we just launched, but we haven't launched it yet. So you're about to see it. And we wanted to, for two things, we wanted to give people a reason to pay all up front for the membership for a year. So we came out with an annual membership, and we wanted to sweeten it up. That if someone was going to pay a year in advance, like, what extra can I get? And then as a business builder, someone that's like building a travel community, we wanted to give you the benefit of selling an entire year's membership right up front, right? So for the member that's on here that says, hey, I just want to be a customer, you're going to see you're going to get like some extra perks for doing our annual. So our standard annual, this is brand new, right? Literally just went in the website today. It's $480 for the entire year. Okay. And for the business builders on here, that's 180 BV, and you get a $72 jumpstart bonus right away, right? That week. But this was what's cool for the member is we're adding a complimentary 4-night cruise voucher. All you pay is the port fees and taxes. This is like, we've had these before. We took them away. Everybody wants them back. I get like 10 calls a week because it's really an awesome deal. And so for me personally, this is how I'm going to build from this point forward a travel community, is I'm really going to just focus on annual standard and annual priority, because I think it's like the ultimate benefit. Because one, here's the benefit: you get all of your Dream Trip points up front. So 480 Dream Trip points, you don't have to wait a year to use them. You can use them right away. You get your cruise voucher, and for the business builders, you get 2 levels of check match. Okay, so this is our standard membership. You're seeing it before anyone on our annual. And our next one is Priority. Priority is $960 entire year. You get the concierge, airport lounge, and every other feature that we've gone over. You get, for the business builders, you have 360 BV, which is a nice little pop there as a community builder. And you get $144 jumpstart. That's your direct commission for marketing one of these memberships. But also, same thing, you're going to get the cruise voucher. You get 4 levels of check match. So that's like getting really big at that point. And 960 Dream Trip points. So you're getting, think about this, you're spending $960, you get a whole year of our best membership. Day one, we're giving you back $960 worth of Dream Trip points. And when you go buy a Dream Trip, you're able to buy down a percentage of the price. So it's like, it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. So, Jojo, this is like the biggest thing I think that is going to, I believe we're going to attract a lot of community builders that say, look, I want to make money while I build a travel community and travel the world. I think these two packs are really the builder packs, if you would. And so you're seeing them for the first time.
Wow, this is so phenomenal. And it's so funny. Ginger, I see in the comments, because she got the annual travel trade, which we go over on Tuesday nights, but she already used 158 Dream Trips points to buy down her Playa del Carmen dream trip, which
Awesome.
is all going on in June. So do you want to kind of touch on maybe a rhythm that we're getting into, and what's coming up in the next couple months that people can, or weeks and months that people can look forward to?
You got it. And yeah, I'm almost done and I'll wrap it up. Here's the thing: the key to success in building a travel community, ready? It's to travel, right? And it doesn't mean that you can maybe travel on every single trip that we present. It just means that we have a rhythm that we all know is always going on, with or without us. Because as you build a travel community, you might be a mom and you have kids in school that they're not on vacation right now, and the next trip doesn't fall in the right spot for you. That's okay, because the community is going to travel to the trips that they can travel to. But what we're going to provide is, we're going to provide every 4 months one big trip in the major regions: North and South America, and then Africa, Middle East, Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. Okay, so those are the two regions that we call it NASA, North and South America, and then the European region. Okay, and so right now, and this is what you're going to find, we have a lot of the leaders on here are going to be driving this rhythm. And so you'll find the leaders are going to go to these two trips, and we're going to push the community to these two trips. You might go to both, you might go to one, and then every 4 months, we're going to present another trip. So there'll never be a gap to where we're not all building into another trip. The legacy company and the legacy brand of Dream Trips, the key, I mean, just think about this. That Dream Trips had 5 million people buy a Dream Trips membership. That's just numbers blows my mind today, right? Obviously, that was pre-COVID, but 5 million people bought a membership. So what was the key to the success in having so many travelers? It was this. People want everything done for them, and people want it kind of pushed to them, right? And maybe they say, oh, Greece is not my thing. Right, that's okay, because the next one that pushed to them, it might be Mexico, and they say Mexico is my thing. So, I personally went to this resort and picked this out. This is actually the resort's beach. Now, there's no other resort around it. It's all little villas. This is literally in like a local community. Very cool. So this is a private beach. This trip's killer. $499 a person, all inclusive, 5 days. We got a white party at the end. We've got an all day excursion on a boat to one of the islands off the coast. This is very, very cool. I spent 3 weeks in Greece recently. The food is epic. It's some of the cleanest food I've ever eaten. Like, I would live there. It was so cool. And I want to point something out here, Jojo. If you notice, it's $499 a person, and you can use 112 points. That's $112. So if you bought an annual membership for $960, right away you're using $112 of that towards this trip. And if you are participating in the runway rewards, if you want any of the runway dollars, which is like between $250 and $1,500 that you can win every 90 days, you can use them in conjunction with these points. So we have a lot of people that we actually have 100 people that are already booked on this trip. That number may have not been out there, but it is now. So 100 people have booked this trip. Some of them, a lot of them are not even paying any money for it. So they use their runway rewards and their Dream Trip points, and they got the trip for free. We have one guy who has won the runway 3 times, and he's put his friends and all his family in 3 rooms on the trip. So pretty cool. This is a special thing I'm going to share with you. I have not really shared this with a lot of people yet. We do something called voluntourism. So if you've ever been on a mission trip, or you're part of a church that like gives back, or if you've gone to Africa or Machu Picchu or somewhere and maybe dug a water well or built a bottle school, Dream Trips has built over 1,000 bottle schools worldwide. That's where you use little plastic bottles. They fill them with recycled material, and they build these walls, and they build buildings with them. It's amazing. And so this is a volunteer trip. It's a full-blown luxury killer trip. And then we put a volunteer activity. So I've done this trip. It's killer. This is called Thessaloniki, Greece. So you can either buy this trip separately, or you go on the main trip, which is this Greece trip, and then you add this one on, and you can see you can use $195 worth of points. And we go to Thessaloniki, Greece. This is a 3-mile boardwalk on the seaside. I've done this walk like 4 or 5 times with my wife. Wine bars, wine and cheese bars, clubs. I mean, this place is a party place, by the way. If you look up the square, it's in the shape of an Absolute vodka bottle. from an aerial shot. Go look it up. Thessaloniki, put in like Thessaloniki, Greece, Absolute Vodka, and you will see a aerial shot of this square. And we work with this orphanage. We've been working with them for 15 years. I actually went with my wife last September, and we went to a different city, same orphanage, killer. It was such an amazing experience. And so we're going to do it again here in Thessaloniki. So this is just an example of what a back-to-back trip is. You buy one trip, you buy a second trip. We transfer you from the one trip to the next trip, and we just continue the party. So it's a way to get 9 days for $1,500 about, right? 9 days. First one's all inclusive. Second part is like breakfasts, there's some lunches. And this is, we're literally staying where you see this right here. The hotel is right here. So you're right there. You walk right to the water. It's like a cool boutique hotel. So that's Greece. Now, I know we have a lot of people from North America on here, but I just want to show you the rhythm. And when you're building a travel community, you may not realize, like, you think your neighbor's going to say, all right, yeah, I want to go to Mexico because maybe you live in Florida. When you find out, they go, no way, I've always wanted to go to Greece. So it's good to have a rhythm where you're hitting, everywhere in the world every 4 months. But this is the big one. We have run, this is going to blow you guys away, okay? DreamTrips has run to this resort in 1 year, 81 trips in 1 year to this brand. We just got this contract back in the new company post-COVID. This will be our first trip there. It's called the Fives. It's the Azul Fives, Playa del Carmen. This place is off the charts, okay? $699, all inclusive. And you can see right here, you can use $158 in Dream Trip points. So that's where that annual membership comes in, because you can use them right away. You don't have to wait a year. And $699 a person, all inclusive, 3 parties. We got a welcome party, a pool party with a DJ, and we have a private catamaran that holds like 150 people only for Dream Trips. And then, if that wasn't enough, we have upgrades that are killer. We have 1-bedroom residences, and we have 1-bedroom penthouses. I just put this photo in here. The 1-bedroom penthouse is a $999 a person, okay? And you get a rooftop jacuzzi patio. This is the actual patio and the rooftop on the penthouses. We have about 6 or 7 penthouses left. We actually had a whole block, sold them all out, went back, got some more. We only have like 6 or 7 left. If you're interested, we also have swim up rooms now that are not on this slide. Those are also $999 a person. And it's a big giant pool that goes along the resort. And then it comes into the front of the rooms, and you just walk down the stairs of your sliding door and you're in the pool. So it's a swim up actual hotel room. And we've got like 15 or 20 of those that we like linked all together. So it would be pretty cool. So, as you can see, Jojo, I mean, the trip rhythm is just going to be incredible. We have big things in store. Obviously, the leaders here have a lot to do with that. We're going to talk about what's the next one and then the next one, and just, kind of follow us all around the world on a dream trip, and, get in the rhythm, stay in the rhythm. And I would say this, if you're a builder and you're like, look, I want to earn money from building a travel community, that's where this really comes into play, because recruit to a trip. And what I mean by that is sometimes people need something exciting to take that leap of faith. And that's what Dream Trips was known for back prior to COVID, was you weren't just saying, hey, buy this membership. What was the key to their success was, you've got to get this membership. It's the #1 travel club in the world, and we've got to go to Greece together, or we've got to go to Playa del Carmen together. And you got someone to say, I'm in, and book that trip. And this is what's important for everyone to know. If you get someone on one dream trip, retention goes over 75% in our membership. I mean, you show me something in business that has that big of a spike of retention. I mean, it's very hard to find that level of retention, because what it is, they get on one trip and like they never want to travel alone. They never want to book travel on their own again. It's like they go in the catalog and they become kind of a lifelong dream tripper. So, Jojo, that's our rhythm. I got like 2 more slides if you want to make a comment maybe on these trips, and I can end it.
No, we are so excited. Our team, I mean, like I said, Ginger's already bought tickets. If you guys on the team are going to Playa del Carmen with Kenny, Pied Piper, myself, Ginger, I mean, put it in the chat. This is going to be one of those trips, and we've all been on one, where from that point forward, your life, your business, and your vision transform. And that's what this trip is going to be. I mark my words, we will be talking about this trip for the rest of our lives. So Mark, super exciting. And let's wrap it up and talk about the world's #1 travel app.
You got it. Absolutely. And you know, here's the thing. I do want to tell people that you see book by March 31st because it literally was closing. We got another suite of rooms. This will sell out. It's prime travel season. So if you are like seriously considering this Playa de Carmen trip, it's really going fast. So we just extended. We don't have another book by date because it's basically when the rooms run out. So I want to let everybody know that. If you want to follow Dream Trips for like, how do I market a Dream Trip membership? What's the next trip that's coming up, things like that, you can scan this Telegram here. And we're going to do a series of trainings, you know, coming up to talk about how to build a travel community. And this is like how you would stay linked to that. And so what I want to do now is just end with just kind of giving you guys an example of, you know, what we're going to do as a company is we're going to evolve. Right now, if you go to our website, you'll see we're making a lot of changes, but we're developing what I'm calling the #1 travel app on the planet. And you know, I'm not going to put a time frame on it because we are really spending our time on it. And 20 years of experience in the travel space, DreamTrips, the DreamTrips brand, and now coming up with an app where it's going to be intuitive, it's going to have AI, it's going to do crowdsourcing, it's going to learn your activities, it's even going to have a feature at some point that's kind of a bucket list where you start dropping pins where you want to go, and then we're going to try to feed you featured trips to some of your bucket list destinations. So lots of big things coming with Dream Trips. Definitely excited to have been able to talk to the group here today. And Jojo and Dave and Kenny, I appreciate you guys letting us come on and share the brand. And hey, get on a Dream Trip. Let us prove it to you. You will not want to travel any other way than on a Dream Trip.
Awesome. We appreciate you. And what a phenomenal night. As we're wrapping up and closing off the recording, Pied Piper, can you go ahead, Mark, before we let you go, put back up that Telegram link? We had a couple people that weren't able to do it. Yep, we got 2 people saying, put back the code.
Right.
And then also, as we have a last question here, the Dream Trips points, do those expire?
Yes, thank you. I didn't hit the, can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, Dream Trips expire a year after they're earned. So the way the Dream Trips points work is you earn them every month. They can't be used for a year from your anniversary date, and then they expire a year later. You just have to book within that next year. So even if the trip is a year from out in the future, it's okay. So you really have a lot of time to use them. If you buy the annual pack, that's when they're usable right away, and then they expire from the day you buy the annual pack.
From that. Awesome. Well, you guys, this was an incredible night. If you got a new insight into this brand, drop a 1 in the chat. If you are a member already and you are excited about how you're going to expand with this brand, put a 2 in the chat. And Mark, we just appreciate you so much. And we look forward to traveling the world with you, my friend.
Thank you very much. And you guys have a great day and look forward to seeing everybody on either Greece or Playa de Carmen. I'll be on both.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you, and send our love to Tammy as well. So
Right,
with
take
that,
care.
you guys, absolutely. With that, you guys, we are going to just wrap over. I know we went long, but oh man, was that ever worth it. And I'm going to pass it straight over to the Pied Piper to go over news you can use for the end of the month for our last day of March as we rock and roll through the end of the month.